Welcome to my channel. My name is Africa Unique. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video because we're about to have an interesting conversation today. Today, we're going to talk about poverty. Is poverty a mindset or a circumstance? Let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys is I had an opportunity, it was about 21 years ago, and I had the opportunity, I was at a project in Atlanta, Georgia, housing complex, government housing, for those of you who don't know what that is. Anyway, I was at the housing projects, and I met this young lady. I won't share her name, just in case she's still following me. Big head much? Anyway, I met this young lady, and she was telling me how she was pointing out to me where different relatives in her family lived within that housing complex. So she was like, my great-grandma lived in building such and such, and my auntie stays in building such and such, and my mom and them over there in building such and such, and I got my place. So it was like she got her place, you know, in that housing complex. And you guys, the feeling was that she had arrived, okay? She got her housing. She had made it in life. She was set. And there was just an overall depressing feeling. I can completely understand how one could think that poverty is a mentality. You understand? And in that circumstance, it was a mentality. It was something that, you know, she had believed. It's been passed down from generations to generations to generations. But the question is that always true? There's all this stuff out there on social media, YouTube, and other platforms that are telling you that poverty is a mindset, and that the bottom line is if you're poor, it's because you want to be poor. And I want to dissect that a little bit. Let's talk about if that is actually true across the board and in all circumstances. So, okay, let's point out the obvious. Sometimes you're making it in life and then things happen, and you are at a point where you are without or cannot provide for your needs due to disability, you know, health, or maybe an injury or accident. There's something that is causing you from being able to physically support yourself and or your family, okay? Y'all, excuse me, just getting over a cold. The second thing is sometimes, you know, I've heard stories. Okay, here's another example. A gentleman worked for a company for 25 years. The company was bought by someone else, and this person was a high member of the corporate office, making a lot of money, and the company thought it would be better to let him go, give him a severance package, hire some younger person to do his job, and pay him thousands of dollars less. Now all of a sudden, this gentleman is well up in age. He's got to deal with ageism. No company's going to look to hire him. You know why? Because they can hire a young person to do the same job for less. So nobody's going to give him what he's worth, if they'll hire him at all. So this gentleman that I'm speaking of did have to take a pay cut, and he struggles. He struggles to meet day-to-day needs, like things like that. So people, you guys don't consider all of the facts. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to be willing to look at all of the circumstances involved. It is not just people being lazy. You guys, poverty is not black and white. Okay? So we've already discussed two scenarios where one would be in poverty. What about mental illness? Okay? Some people are just not able to do it. And quite frankly, between me and you, I don't want that person that's going to be spazzing out and blowing up and shooting up the place because they can't deal with their mental illness. Depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, or you just don't know how to cope with stress. I'm going to need for you, go on draw disability. I don't want to deal with that. But you know, we also have our special needs group that are also included in that mental illness group of people who were just born that way, right? So And I'm sure that you guys can think of several more reasons why poverty happens to people, why the American dream is not accomplished just for everyone by grit, education, and persistence. Now, that's the rule, okay? That is exactly what you want to be doing. Not by any means am I advocating to be lazy or to go and put yourself in a situation to be in poverty, but the Lord teaches us through the scriptures, Holy Bible, Book of Mormon, etc., that the poor will always be among us. And as disciples of Jesus Christ, we have a responsibility to seek out the needy and the poor. Okay? How the poor got into that predicament is not our business as disciples of Jesus Christ. Boom, I said it. And it's true. I'm going to drop, in my description box, I will have scriptures that will link to where this principle is taught in the scriptures, and also some links to how you can apply it to your life so that you are receiving blessings, because we are all poor and needy, if not temporally, spiritually. We all rely on the Lord daily to help us and to get us through, whether we know it or not. So, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section and let me know, do you think it's a mentality, a circumstance, or both? Do you think it could be both? Do you think that a person can live their whole lives and be poor? Do you and there still be in good standing with the Lord? Let me be clear. I am not advocating sorriness. Okay? Laziness. The scriptures tell you good and well how the Lord feels about those people too. But can a person work and strive their whole lives to be better and to improve, and it just never comes into fruition? Is that possible? I'm thinking about Hollywood movies like The Pursuit of Happiness, where eventually he did make it, but honey, he was sleeping in a closet with his son at one point, and that's based on a true story. Okay? I'm thinking about Acrimony. Okay, it took them 25 years. Some people are poor because they're trying to make something happen in their life, and they got to sacrifice in order to do that. So, and I know what y'all saying. Sometimes you just got to put your dreams on the shelf and survive. When is that time? Tell me. Talk to me. Let me know. When do you put your dreams aside and just survive? Or when do you accept the hardship and the poorness and make your dreams happen for the payout later? Let me know. Drop a comment in the description box. Let's get this discussion going. I'm excited to hear you all's opinions on the matter, and I'll holler at you po folks later. Deuces.